This is the talk show based upon the book Devotee, which is available on Amazon, A Mature Mortal's Guide to Understanding, Nurturing, and Protecting a Female Goddess. Last episode we talked about the intro to this book, and today we're going to go into chapter 1, which is, what is the definition of a female goddess? According to my book, many of you have encountered a female goddess, although you may not have realized it. She was the one that walked in that club, room, or that restaurant, etc., and when she entered, all eyes turned in her direction. Conversation ceased to exist, and any lady that you was with probably gave you a dirty look, gave you that don't even try it look. Now, you know, when I wrote this book, like I said before, it was based upon my experiences and conversations and practically, you know, confessions of female goddesses and what they told me about their lives. And I found that many of them have the same histrionics, you know, and the same experiences. And I'd like to share some of them with you. And they're not all rosy and, you know, peachy creamy as some people may think. They've had unfortunate childhoods, many of them, which might have included psychological or physical abuse, in some cases sexual abuse, mainly by relatives, partners, or someone else close to their family. Tend to be highly intelligent in school and high achievers. Every goddess I know has always been at the top of their class. Whatever profession they're in, they knock it out. They're always in administrative positions or entrepreneurs or taking care of themselves. They thought of themselves as ugly ducklings when they were young. Yeah, a lot of them told me that they suffered from low self-esteem. I thought it odd, but well, it was. They fought a lot when they were young. Weren't tomboys necessarily, but they fought a lot when they were young. Not just with girls, but also with boys. And usually kicked the boys' ass. They didn't want to be bothered with boys when they were kids. They just wanted to learn and do things. They tend to have a learning streak in them, and when boys wanted to flirt with them, they weren't about that when they were young. That's what they told me. Always tend to be very well spoken and have a very good command of the English language, or whatever their native language is. I tend to find that all the goddesses I'll be around, when you're in public with them, they carry themselves so well. They speak so eloquently. Their oral communication skills is a monster. Well, sometimes they just clam up, but we'll talk about that later on in the discussion. Again, Devotee. While we added the music you're listening to, the song is called The Experience. This is my group from my CD Innuendos, which is available on Ditto Music. And I wrote this on The Experience. And I think it's appropriate when we're talking about goddesses, because the experience that you're going to have is going to be so unique. Let's get on more about female goddesses. And their girlfriends always want to go out with them. Oh, girl, you got to go out with us. You know we can't go out without you, girl. This is due to the fact that they attract the male mortals. However, this made the female goddess feel as though they were human bait. You know, they get treated like they're bait. You will know who the human goddess is. She's usually the one that's the least talkative, not looking around the room like she's hunting prey. And often you will see men and gay women approach her without provocation. And often people are buying her drinks. I've actually, back in the day, I remember seeing, you know, back in the day, they used to take a shot glass and turn it upside down when somebody from the room bought you a drink. You know, the bartender come over and say, drink for the lady, the gentleman over there, the lady over there. And they turn the shot glass upside down. I've seen a couple times where there was a line of them down the bar. She said, I didn't ask for one. Matter of fact, I was giving it away to my friends, and they still keep coming. Oh, yeah. LOL that, right? While out they are not the extroverted type. However, most people want to intermingle with her. If she does get involved in the party, she becomes the life of the party. But that's another part of the conversation. However, once they settle in within that social setting and their girlfriends find that all the attention is being focused on their female goddess, a sense of envy and jealousy from their female friends tend to arise. Friends will often make rude jokes where they are the brunt of that joke. The goddesses are the brunt of the joke, and that's... I've had that happen to me sometime, but maybe because I'm a devotee. But it's not good to be the brunt of a joke, is it? Y'all know how that is. As a result, most female goddesses have more male friends than female friends. The female friends they do maintain relationships with, though, are devoted to them and admire them to an unnatural level. Because relationships with mortals tend to become obsessive on the mortals' part, human goddesses tend to keep to themselves. So I'd like to open up some questions for discussion for this. Do you know any females who have the aforementioned histrionics, went through that? And so how did that person survive if they did survive? If you're a female, did you go through the aforementioned traumatic experiences? And so how did you deal with it? And why did you think it was happening to you while it was occurring? Men and women. Now that you see that it's part of the histrionics of goddesses, what happened to those you experienced go through the aforementioned traumatic experiences? And if it was yourself, how did you make out? Those that you saw go through those traumatic experiences, how did you see them go through it? And how did they end up on the other end? So call and let us know, men and women, those goddesses that you saw going through traumatic experiences, there was a reason. And as we go through into the next chapter of our book, which is female goddesses and relationships, oh boy, that's a good one. But again, the name of the book is Devotee, a mature mortal's guide to understanding, nurturing, and protecting a female goddess. It's available on Amazon. My name is James Kelly. You can call me J.U.R.O.T, J-U-R-D-O-T, and I'm the president, CEO, and CFO of S.E.M.A.J Productions Inc. And this podcast, this show, Devotee/Men on Pause, the discussions is there for you. So call in at 917-843-5683. That's 917-843-5683. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll come back. We're going to take some calls and see what y'all think about that, and let us know how you experienced it and what it was like when you went through it, okay? Talk to you soon. Peace out. We're going to take a break.